And we're back and we're live here at Lucius Live. Took a skip week. Um Honestly, I just passed out that day. That was that. Like it was just like kind of
Well,
like
I figured you were dead, but
it could that could always be a possibility. If you don't see me on Twitter for a while and I don't run the show, it's like what happened to that guy? Like if it's been more than a week of just complete silence, either
yes.
I flat out quit, I'm in jail, or I'm dead. Like
Those are the only three possibilities. Couldn't be anything else.
although like if I quit, people probably DM find out, but um yeah, something went down. Yeah.
Oh damn,
But
I'm
yeah,
sorry.
I just conked out last week,
Oh,
and it's like no, I don't feel like doing a show. All off kilter and nothing to go on.
you sound very low energy today, Lucius. I guess
Do I?
it's the end of the year. Everything's winding down. So.
I do. I am getting hit by the seasonal affective
Oh, the
depression or whatever. Like that's always like been a thing for
COVID,
me.
the Omicron variant.
Oh no. I mean seasonal depression or whatever. Like when it gets darker, colder. Like
Oh
you
right.
get like more like yeah.
I
That's
guess
good.
so. Yeah. I mean, I
I
guess
think
I.
it's like an old instinct to hibernate.
Mm,
Like you just don't want to do anything. It's like the cold and the dark. Like yeah, it's a miserable combination. Why would anything want
I
to
guess so. Yeah.
go outside? You know.
Mm. I mean, yeah, yeah. I can see that. I can see
Like
that.
all the Christmas songs like have like nestled in them like, oh, isn't it great that it's white snowy winter outside. Hello, Christopher John,
Yeah,
how are
it's
you?
Christopher John.
um but somewhere in the mix you can always retreat to like a fire, in a cabin
Yeah.
or some shit. That's the thing, but you take away that fire bit, man, like
Well,
you know
clearly the solution is obvious. You need to light a fire in the middle of your living room.
wherever, whatever you got to do.
Well, clearly the middle of the
Survival.
living room. Yeah.
Yeah, you want to
I
live.
mean, don't worry about like having any way to vent the smoke. Just let it accumulate inside
We got a
the house.
nice eggplant here from El Gargo. How
Yeah,
you
he
doing,
always does
buddy?
that. Those motherfuckers have stopped drumming. Thank fucking god. Holy shit.
Oh yeah, Luke had like live music going on in his
They always do
uh
it. These people have no volume control. It's so annoying. Swear to
yeah.
God. Anyway, but an interesting thing, Lucius. I know you're
What's that?
low. I know you're low energy, but hopefully this will pick you up. So you entered John Malin's godlike art contest, didn't you?
Yeah, I can't say I tried too hard on it because there's $3,000 going to one person.
I mean, I look. That's
That
3K,
Listen,
dude.
I'm not saying
That's nothing to sneeze at, bro.
no. But here's the thing: is like that
That's
is
like
really
three
good.
minutes of storyboarding for me.
That's um shit. You broke my line.
I did it. Yes.
Yeah. All right. So $3,000. That's good prize money on anything. But
Sure.
he's made in the past. He's done it. It was like $1,000 for first, 500 for second, and I think 250 after that. It could have been different numbers for second and third, but there were three cash prizes. He's only doing one, and he's like, "Yeah, I want it to be mega
Who's
big
gonna?
money." So he put up $3,000 for the one, and like he's like, yeah, this time it's open to anybody. So even if you're a professional, you can submit something. And I was like, so
Yeah, I remember this. It's like because he was like, I think one of it was like, can't have nudity.
yeah.
And I said, wait, does that mean we can put him in a bikini? I think you
Yeah.
said that first or something. I was
Yeah.
originally going to say that just because I like to troll him, Malin, but you kind of beat me to it. I hesitated.
Well, I was kind of like, whatever. I didn't even, so I thought about submitting for his visions book, but I really was just like, I could not come up with stuff. And seeing what actually was in the book, I'm like, I'm glad I didn't submit what I had, because it would have looked like second rate compared to everyone else's stuff.
I disagree. I disagree. But I mean, I'm
Alright.
not entering it because I already know who's going to win. It's going to be Narwhal. Narwhal's going to win.
Oh yeah. Well, I did like his piece, but people even I would have picked to win the contest that I've seen weren't necessarily the ones who won, and I think I picked like who were top placers in his last graveyard shift one. But that was one like I really tried for, and I didn't even earn a point from the judges. So I was just like, this time I'm like, all right, I'm gonna spend like 10 minutes trying to think on something for it. I'm gonna throw that in, and if it happens, great. But if not, it's not like I spent a ton of time really trying to nail it and feel like fuck.
Christopher John's saying something interesting right now.
I'd rather not have
And
Malin judging me.
yet you are entering it, Christopher John, as I can remember from a sketch you just posted.
Well, good thing is Malin is not the actual judge.
Oh,
He's
he isn't?
just the he's just the guy running the contest and handing out the money. But
Who's
it
the
will
judge?
be I don't know if he's named names. Last year when they did it, it was like people like Narwhal, Dan Frega, like just people around the scene that were gonna judge based on whatever they thought was interesting. They had like 3 points they could give out a piece to it, and I guess whoever accumulated the most in the end won that contest. Now I didn't know that going in, so I was aiming for like what John Malin talks about, and then it's like, oh wait, you're not the guy who like pulls the trigger on this. Like, damn,
yeah.
man.
Well, that's the thing. It's like, I mean, we don't even know who it is, what the rules are this time. So it's like, or what
Let
the
me
parameters
pull up.
are.
I'm gonna pull up the Twitter thread on that.
Oh, we didn't know. Well, I mean, I saw a drawing, John. So I don't know.
Because Lord Crackhead, I guess he's taken over like the Leroy portion.
The Leroy Jenkins.
That's what I think of every time I thought of this guy's name. But yeah, he just shut down his channel. He's doing pretty good, and he just shut it down. He wasn't having fun no more, so he's like calling it quits. And I was like, oh, awesome!
You couldn't just
They
leave
can
it
come
up
over here and party with us. Lucius
right.
Live.
Did
I
you
think
send him a link or?
Yeah. Well, no. I don't really know him that well. I've just like tertiary seen the show every, I don't know, couple of weeks or something. I listened to a bit of it, but Lord Crackhead was one of his associates on or co-hosts on his show, and I think he took it over, and he's going to talk about the godlike art contest, but he didn't talk about it, and I was like, oh, I would have liked to hear thoughts on what.
See, I mean, if I tried to enter it, I don't think I would even have a hair's breadth of a chance because it'd probably be too weird for them. They'd be like, because I think they're used to a certain kind of comic book art, whereas I'm kind of more of an animation background, and that's just kind of like
I said, when I did it to just something where it's like I think it's a good concept, but I didn't pour like my heart out into it. I didn't spend days like refining it or anything. It was just kind of like one go, and it was nice that it wasn't. He made it that it's black white. You can shade it gray, but I just did black and white line drawing. Like if I had to color that thing, it would be like, oh, which is what I thought I had to do for the Visions thing, which was the killer.
So that's the thing. Like I would have preferred to have been able to do it in color because then I could like really paint it, you know. Because you and I, we're painters, right? We paint. Yeah.
Let me share this tab here. And this should give us the entries. Actually, make sure they're most recent.
I mean, they're pretty good from what I've seen so far. Like I'm not saying they're bad. It's just.
Well, you don't have to like shit on somebody. I'm just curious what you think on them as we go through them.
I think generally they're pretty strong. Like there was one I saw the other day. It was like it looked really, really good. It wasn't that one, but that still looks pretty good. It was. Oh, whoa, that's pretty good. Look at that. That's great. That's amazing. Holy shit. Let's just. That's not as good. It's in color, so it's disqualified. Yes, it's that one. That one. Yeah, that's the one. Look at that. That's fucking epic as fuck. He's cutting the dragon in half, and the dragon's like watching him do it, and he's just like, he doesn't give a shit.
He's just fighting some.
He's trying to kick, but he
ninja.
missed. Yeah.
It's not very godlike just to fight a ninja.
Yeah, it's
like
kind of lame.
You're Daredevil, like
yeah,
ninjas.
Yeah. That's the same one again. He entered twice. It's got to be against the rules. So why has he changed this thing to Malin?
I'm not sure. I must have missed maybe
Was there some in-joke going on?
But he does like to do like offensive race
swapping,
like pun kind of things. Like
whoa! Look at that one. That's excellent. I love that. It's beautiful. Oh, it's like a two-parter. Damn. He's cutting up that motherfucker. Look at that. Oh man, he's gonna kill those dudes.
Ones?
Yeah.
Okay.
Interesting. Oh, that one's good. Yeah, I like this one too.
Hey, see, this is the thing. People like this are coming out of the woodwork, and I'm like, all right.
Well, they want that. They want that bag, dude. They want to get that bread.
You know,
don't they?
But unless I feel like super strongly about it, I'm not like putting a ton of time into it.
Hey, I have a. Ooh, yeah. I have a moral question about
What's that?
Because you know that old there's this age-old I guess you would call it spec work, where some company or some band will be like, hey, you know, we want you to enter into our art contest, and they kind of get like a bunch of free art. You know what I mean? I'm not saying John Malin's going to do anything shady, but typically when popular bands, oh, that's fucking excellent.
Yeah, this was one that really stood out to me, but it's like one of those ones where I'd rather it was. I don't know how easy it is to just take this, color it, and have it turn out all right. Like I don't know if that's like but I would rather it be in color than just grayscale. Like looking at it.
But here's the thing, right? Like if Malin was gonna like pull like a god tier move, it'd be really great if he like paid all of these artists for all of the free work that they did in doing this. You know what I mean? Like this it just seems kind of, I don't know. I guess I'm coming from a perspective of having been burned in the past by clients who haven't paid before, and I've done all this work, and I know it sounds kind of bad because I'm kind of sounds like I'm ragging on Malin, but I'm really not. But it just I feel like you know, if he wanted a really good thing, a really good cover, he could have just asked the dude who he really likes and paid him like the $3,000 rather than getting all these other guys who are going to make all this free artwork that, I don't know, maybe he will. Maybe that, because I mean, Malin seems like a really solid guy. He'll like go, well, this is the best one, right? $3,000. And then he'll see some of the others and he'll be like, well, this is really good as well. And he'll be like, you know, I'll pay you like $1,000 for that. Like, you know, like after the competition is over.
It's a complete possibility. I wouldn't put it past him. I also doubt he would hand out. You might have the opportunity to be like imprint in the book and, you know, just notoriety, but, you know, he wouldn't necessarily own it. He'd probably ask for your permission to do that. So I don't think it would get used without your permission. There's another good one here.
Yeah, that's pretty good. Damn, look at that.
Mike Wilson. He's pretty good guy.
But you get what I'm saying though, right? Like doing all this free work and you're probably not even gonna get paid for it, and so you wasted all that time when you could have been working on something that was paying.
Well, that's you know, like he was talking about how they have their auctions, and sometimes they'll auction off like original pages, and
so maybe that's what he'll do with this. It'll be like an auction, and people will get like the people who didn't get the prize. Maybe that's the angle. In which case, that's very smart. What do you think, Christopher John? Let us know in the chat. These are all pretty good. Yeah, these are all pretty good entries. I guess I share Christopher John's sentiment. Like, this is why I didn't enter as well, because there's some pretty good guys here. So
I did. I'm telling, like, I just drew it just so John Malin, when he does the art auctions with Ethan, he just like draws something quick and stupid, or something from, like, he appears on a drawing contest show, like something he doesn't really spend a whole lot of time. So this is Norwal's here.
Yeah, that's pretty good. Look at that, great perspective.
Right, looks epic. That's like what I'm thinking it should be. This is mine one here. And so I was like thinking on, all right, if you're gonna have something for a book called Godlike, there ought to be something that looks fucking godlike. So
it's got to look pretty fucking epic, dude.
Yeah. So the idea was, like, if I colored this, he'd basically kind of look like a streak of lightning, like he was literally lightning as he's like cutting up like this giant monster. So he's cutting through the fingers, cutting across the torso. I actually had him stab through the eye. It's supposed to be kind of like where the lightning would strike first, like his eye bursting. And that's kind of what's going on up there. But yeah, I was just going for like energy, and like just someone was like, damn, that looks godlike. Not that like these, they're good for like I would say a number of these are good for like a trading card, of the Romulus character, like a nice profile shot, epic looking or whatever. Like this
I would say it's a bit too, your one is a bit too obscure.
Yeah, I would say, yeah, you don't really know the character, but
no, it's like if you bring up the image again.
Eat me alive here.
So you said like, just looking at it, because obviously I'm looking at this on a tiny little screen, right? So it should be able to read clearly. I kind of see like the bit where he's going through the fingers and sort of his top half torso, but his legs are kind of obscured by sort of the blood. You know what I mean?
Well, that's supposed to just be like crunching rock and like he's cratering into the ground, like it's a dust.
Okay, well, I mean, it's so. I mean, I guess that maybe that's more of a.
Yeah, that's something. If I colored it, I think.
Yeah, maybe. Read. Yeah, if it was colored, but that's the thing. You're not coloring it. You're doing it black and white, so you gotta kind of like alter it.
I didn't spend. I'm thinking about revising this at least.
Yeah,
making things more clear, but yeah.
The other thing is, it's like you've got this. I'm assuming what you've got is you've got that streak across his chest that's going off to the left of the image, and it's assumed that he's doing like this loop back around, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's another part that's like really obscure. It's like, as someone who is seeing this from the outside, like that's very hard for me to make that connection, because in the mind's eye, like whatever is in this window is not making. I can't make that connection, if you get what I mean.
Yeah. So what I would have done is like, oh shit, had basically like a lightning bolt effect from the sky down to his eye, and it transitions over into like basically a trail of blood by the end, and then he's just like crashing into the ground. So
fuck. Anyways, maybe I will. Yeah, maybe I will do this. You've inspired me, Lucius. Maybe I'll do something, and it'll be like crazy. It'll be like it'll be my version of this idea, Lucius, where he's like cutting a dude in half or something.
Yeah, I just did like giant fucking colossal creature. He can't use anything. A number of people like also have like his character fighting like the alien monsters from Aliens.
Oh yeah,
and it's kind of like
disqualifies him.
He can't really like use that.
Yeah, isn't that one of the rules? You can't have any of your own.
Yeah, it's supposed to be like a generic monster, villain, foe, or whatever. I thought about trying to do,
but even then, like Narwhal's thing is a bit too obscure as well. If you click on it,
it takes a second. But I
well, the thing is, he's got so you've got that light source, right? That's behind his left leg. If he either took that light source and put it behind his head, or put another one, like duplicated that and put it behind his head, his silhouette would read a little more clearer than that. He's kind of got it on the arm holding the sword, and he's got it on the leg, but it's like once we get up into the sort of head and so forth, it's everything's kind of like melding together.
Let me make sure. Is this the one? Yeah, he updated it. This is his update one. At least as far as I know, that's the last one he did. But I dig it, like, over some of these other ones. Like, you know, this to me would be like nice trading card, sort of like, you know, good pose and everything, well in frame, nice composition. But like
Christopher John's like, yes, do it, Luke, be godlike. I'm like, I can't, because it infringes on something I've already made that's got God in the title.
Yeah. So,
man, you are out of it, my man.
A little bit.
What can I do to cheer you up, Lucius? What plans do you have for Christmas?
Navigate this. Like, having to do this on one screen is like really, really annoying.
Yeah, well, I mean, I do that. Lucius is the winner. Yes.
Thanks, Christopher John.
Christopher John's great. He's a great guy.
Yeah, be godlike.
Be godlike. I wish I could. I'd rather be forsaken godlike.
Yeah, what if somebody came out with that? How would you feel?
Oh, with something called forsaken godlike?
Yeah.
I feel like me and Malin would be pretty mad. We'd like team up and sue the fuck out of them. Forsaken
what
godlike?
if that someone was me?
Why would you do that, Lucius? Why would you make us mad?
Fuck with you. Just to fuck with you.
Well, like, what would it be about? Would it be about you've silenced yourself?
Yeah, I do that when I'm like opening drinks and stuff.
Would it be about a main character called Romulus Knight?
It'd be Remus.
Remus?
Yeah.
Why
Lord
Remus?
Because Romulus is the brother of Remus. I'm. It's like I'm using it.
But you're fusing forsaken gods and godlike together because they both have God.
Like, everyone's all about Romulus because Rome was named after Romulus. Remus gets kind of left off to the side, so it's like I'm exploring the untold story. Remus.
Okay.
Yeah. The forsaken godlike, because he was forsaken.
Oh, I get you.
Yeah, you know.
Yeah, that's. I'm not interested anymore.
And godlike, you know, because like I think they were canonized as like demigods, you know. For
really? Well, there are demigods and forsaken gods.
It might have been just Romulus. Like, I think the story goes like he disappeared in a storm, and it could be based on fact, like he could have been in a storm and just got struck by lightning and disappeared. But they say like he went to like Mount Olympus and joined the pantheon. I believe that's how the story went.
Huh.
If I remember right. But I could be wrong. So there you go. The more you know and don't know.
Ding, ding, ding.
Oh, here we go.
You know.
Forsaken Godlike is being worked on right now.
It's a good troll, Christopher John. It's a good troll. So anyway, Lucius, what do you have? What great Christmas plans are you going to be doing this year? You going to be hanging out with the girlfriend's family or your own family, or what's happening?
Yeah, probably. I think the COVID thing is over for most people.
Is it?
Like, well, yes and no. I feel like people are getting tired of the endless, like,
bullshit.
Yeah, the goalpost keeps getting moved. You know, the end zone just keeps going down. Like, you keep making progress, but somehow you never get any closer. It's another and yet another. You know, talking about having up to like 5 or 6 shots every year.
Yes, I've been meaning to message some of my detractors and critics and ask them if they've had their 5th booster yet.
Well, that's the other thing. They're changing like the definition some places like what fully vaccinated means, and that's like where it's kind of like, you assholes, I've done all your bullshit up till now, and you still want more. Like, it's never enough. You guys said we'd be fine after the second one, and yet it still continues.
Yeah, well, that's how it works. You give them an inch and they take a mile.
And
That's why you never ever give them any ground at all, ever.
right, I agree. Never ever.
Never. Thanks, Obama.
So you're gonna do godlike fan art then?
Yeah, probably not.
Just a little something. What annoys me is when they put that up and it's like, okay, do you have a good shot of your character? And it's like, I kind of see some from this shot and a long view from this. But one thing I've even noticed when I was doing the graveyard shift one is that like he doesn't have a consistent, like I feel like I'm more anal about that. Like, it's like there's a model.
Oh, like
there's being
like
on
keeping
model.
a character on model.
Yeah.
Well, that was the thing. Like, is that a big deal? Like how on model you keep it if you're doing your own version of it?
No, I guess not. It's just more like I want it to be representative of what you designed as a character, rather than, if like wanting it to be true to like the format, the brand, the identity of it. Like, I would want it to be like, it's one of those things that annoys me is like, even when you try to get proper reference on something, you're like, wait, like these are all official versions. What's the actual like set one? Like, if you go to Disney, there's a specific way Mickey's drawn, and you don't mess with it. It's a formula. Like,
well, yes
there's
and
a
no.
way.
I mean, you're right, but they also, they make small changes here and there.
Yeah, I mean, they've evolved it. They definitely, like, every now and then, new head art director or whatever animation department makes some little modification, but at this point, it's been refined to like this stable image for like the past 40 years.
Well, I mean, yeah, probably longer than that, because Mickey Mouse is older than I am. But no, you're right. You're right. Definitely. Yeah. Definitely right.
I'm not trying to like be off brand, and like I want to kind of, but yes, you do have the freedom of basically, well, I did it the best as I could off your thing, but it's something I get hung up on. Those little details.
Okay. That makes sense. So anyway,
what about you? Do you have Christmas plans?
No.
Awesome.
I know, right? I mean, if I had, I mean, survive, I guess. I'm
just
doing all right.
It through.
Yeah, just make it through. I mean, I guess I'm gonna work on the Sake of God's campaign a little more. It's my life now. But I'm looking into NFTs.
Oh yeah, like doing your own.
Yeah, I was thinking about it, looking at it, doing some research, seeing what it's all about, seeing how many people I can sucker into giving me the money, and because apparently NFTs are a scam. So
I think it depends. Like, there's a lot of because I've been kind of looking at several things crypto, and like people were laughing at this crypto crash or something that happened fairly recently.
Yeah, but it does that this time
right,
every year.
Right, and people are still like,
it's back up. So
yeah, people are still like, it sucks that I lost my 10% over my raised 2,000% or whatever.
Yeah.
Like, they're just like, okay, so yes, it's less than what it was yesterday.
It's holiday time. People are sort of like cashing in some of their crypto to go buy.
Right, stuff. It's right before the end of the year and stuff too. So all the tax bullshit. Some people are trying to get it done this calendar year or whatever. But yeah, I still like I've started like trying to really get into it and understand it. And essentially they're like, yeah, don't, the amount of people that lose you never hear about like is way too much. Like, don't just put
Well,
something
no,
in it.
I mean the trick is that sure there are people who lose, but that's because there's people panic and they sell. You're fine if you don't sell.
Right, right. But there are a number, especially when it comes to NFTs, like there are a number of things where it's just like it's a complete trap.
Oh yeah, sure, but
or it's just a complete nothing. And a number
but
of
I
people
mean,
can
right
be.
now it's there's this little window. I'm sure they're going to start regulating it probably next year. So there's a little window from now until I guess maybe February or
Sure.
March. So,
go for it.
Yeah. I mean, I'll probably make maybe $2,000 probably, but I'm gonna try. I'm gonna give it a shot.
What kind of is it your what's your dungeon crawler, or is this like your Forsaken Gods?
I think it's just gonna be just well, I mean, there's a couple of things I'm toying with. I'm thinking one because I want to make like animated NFTs.
Oh, that'd be cool. Cool.
Yeah. Like a little looping GIF. But I feel like that's like something further down the road. If like that might be the next one I do if this one is somehow reasonably successful in some capacity, which I don't even know if it will be. It probably won't. So I think I'm gonna, because looking into it, like the way you've got different kinds of, I guess, markets, and right now, what do you call it? Like avatar icons, kind of like what we have here.
Yep.
They're kind of popping off right now, and the way you make them is you kind of just make like different layers for different elements. So like 5 different heads, 5 different bodies, 5 different backgrounds, and 5 different accessories, right? And each one of those is like a multiplier because you can like combine them in different ways through I forget the name of the program, but it's like art program, because if you export them as separate layers, it'll jumble them up and spit them out, and so you've got like different combinations. And so if you got like because I'm still looking into this, I'm still trying to figure it out. Before what I can tell, it's like you've got like certain number of like elements. So if you got like 5 heads and 5 bodies, that's like a multiplier of, so it's 5 times 5. And then you put another one, that's another multiplier on top of that. You know what I mean? So you come up, you can maybe theoretically do like 7 elements that have 5 drawings for each. And that could give you like 10,000 individual unique pieces, because theoretically they are unique because they're unique, that unique combination. So, yeah.
Christopher John says, gotta go. And he says, happy holidays. Happy holidays.
All right, bye, Christopher John. Sorry, was I too boring just then?
we still got like, what, 2 weeks?
30 minutes.
And some change before we get the major holidays here.
Yeah. So that's what I've been looking at.
Do you ever make it back to Australia?
No, and I'm definitely not going to do it right now.
No, I wouldn't say so.
No.
I just wonder, like, as just you ever got a chance to, because
I mean, I did a while ago. The thing is, it's like really expensive to go to Australia, like on certain levels. Not only is like the plane ticket expensive, but like food is expensive, accommodation is expensive, everything's expensive. So it's like if you are going to do it, you got to have like a lot of money to do it. So I think the last time I was there was, oh God, when was the last time I was there? It might have been 2015 or so, end of 2015, somewhere around that time, middle of 2015. Just as everything was starting to happen, and this crazy train was leaving the station.
Yeah.
Yep.
Just then.
Just then. Well, it was around then, right?
Yeah, pretty much. It was the pre-election. That's when like everything was ramping up. But as far as I think major cancellation stuff, that was really popping off in 2016, 2017. 2017 is
It
probably
was
the
around
peak.
2017, yeah.
Yeah.
When it really started to get into high gear. Because remember, it was around the end of 2017 that the Harvey Weinstein scandal broke.
Well, it's like they worked the system. They were tweaking their rules and their tactics for like 2016.
Yeah.
And then 2017 is like when they finally all the planets had aligned. Everything was good to go. Now let's start, lynching these people, and that's
Let's
what they
start
did.
ruining lives and
Right?
reputations. Yeah.
Exactly.
Motherfuckers. And then they
And
complain when things start
it's
breaking
just
down.
it sucks now, man. Like YouTube sucks. I find it so hard. I don't know, like who am I to talk, I guess? Like I try to listen back to a lot of these and gauge myself like on where I think I would stand, having to listen to myself as somebody who had no idea,
Yeah, yeah.
And I'm like, oh man. So sometimes I'm like, I think I did fairly good, and then other times like, oh my god, would I just let this stupid topic die? Would I just do this, that, or the other?
Well, that's why you got me here, to tell you to let that stupid topic die, my man.
Oh yeah, put it out
and then
back and shoot it.
Ignore me, yeah. Like, no, we're gonna keep talking about this. No, we've said enough. It's time to put it to death.
But yeah, where was I going with that?
I don't know. Where were you going with that?
I forget. There's something clearly I was talking about, and then
algorithms making things go longer than they should.
Oh, just like if I had to listen to myself, not knowing who I was, and gauging how interesting that I am and everything. So, who am I to say? But man, some of these shows out there, I'm just like, God, could you spend more time talking about nothing? Like you're talking and droning on, and it's like, yeah. So for the past minute, you said jack shit about the thing your video is about, or it's like, I would also like to talk about why I did this. Like these little like preambles to videos. I'm like, I don't.
Oh yeah.
I don't care. I don't care about like what your motivations were, or what like your maybes and shoulda, woulda, couldas. It's just like, just get to the fucking point of the video.
Yeah.
And you find that like 5 minutes in, and then it's just them repeating that for a couple times and then going out. So they hit their magic marks on like the time lengths of videos. They pad them out.
Yeah. Well, I mean, also part of it is that, I mean, I kind of suffer from this, is that sometimes you do kind of get in your own head and you repeat yourself because you're trying to remember what it is you're trying to say. I've done that a lot, where I've just like repeated something like several times.
Mm-hmm.
It's so strange. It's such a strange phenomenon. Like I don't really do that in real life. It's only when I'm on YouTube and I'm just like, yes, like, comment, and subscribe. Maybe if I say it again, it'll work. Oh my god. But I do agree with you. It's like, they're like, oh, hey, I wasn't even going to make this video in the first place, but now I am going to make this video. It's like, well, all right. Well, clearly you did make the video. What the fuck?
Yes. Get to your fucking point.
Oh, but I thought about it, and then I thought maybe I will make this video. Okay, so I made the video, and it was really hard making the video, and like the video was like really good, but I'm not sure about it. So I mean, here's the video. Jesus fucking Christ, dude, just what the fuck? It's the worst fucking shit in the world. Just kill me now.
So usually, that's my video. What do you think about it? How about you leave your comments below?
Remember the. Oh, go ahead.
Remember to like this video for more videos like it, and also don't forget to hit the subscribe button on your way out.
Yeah. Well, apparently that does work, but I don't know.
Yeah, hit that like button. Subscribe.
Yeah, hit that like button. There are people who are
although
watching
if you're
right
not
now.
Subscribed, I don't know how you found out about me, but
yeah,
you should subscribe.
Oh man, yeah, YouTube is shit, dude.
But yeah, it's getting bad. It used to be good. Like it used to be really fucking good. Like I feel like it was hitting its stride 2013, 2014, 2015. Like it was like you could kind of go down all these rabbit holes if you wanted to, and then they changed their algorithms, they shadow ban people,
You know
structure
why? You know why that was?
What's that?
It's because they put a woman in charge.
Oh, it could be.
Because women are great at gatekeeping. They're not so good at innovating. Like men are really bad at gatekeeping.
You should do like a whole live stream about this. I think you have something you really want to get into it.
Nah, not really. I just
deep dive. No?
Well, I mean, I already did that shitty live stream about a fucking mansion that didn't sell. That was probably my worst one.
That was all right.
Even though you kind of saved it.
Yeah, I was an awesome co-host guest or whatever on that.
You're the best. You were the best.
I had no idea what we were going to talk about. You're like, this fucking house. Mansion.
This fucking house.
What do they call it, a house? Yeah.
Everyone like and subscribe to this shitty video, motherfuckers. Yeah. No, it was terrible. It's a terrible reaction video. Like I always suck with those kind of videos. Oh my god, I got something stuck on my throat.
Yeah, thanks. Thanks for finally in that mute.
Oh my god, what was that? That was crazy. But yeah, I don't know. It's crazy, man. It's crazy. I feel like I need to make better content somehow, but you know, I'm working on it. You've seen the better content already.
Yeah, your animation stuff's pretty legit.
Thank you.
But it's really time consuming, so it's not like you can just pop them out.
Well, I am working on trying to fix that, but we'll see. I might actually abandon my channel and make a new channel under a different name and just
you start over.
I think so, yeah.
Like, would you burn your would this be like a Jason Bourne kind of like I'm erasing my whole identity and starting a new one?
Sort of, yeah. I guess you would call it rebranding. Just because Fresh Luke has such a massive target on it now, everybody knows. Well, not everybody, but lots of people know to talk shit about.
How far are you gonna go with your new identity? Are you gonna change your voice? Gonna have like a
I don't know.
Voice modulator.
I'm sure I'm like fucking myself over right now by talking about it openly, but
this could be a psych out move though too.
Probably. Maybe that's been my
like you could
chess move all along.
Yeah, you can do both at the same time, and then they'll never believe like you were this other guy the whole time.
Well, I mean, if I just keep it vague, because like obviously I look at animation channels a lot. Like there's this one called Meat Canyon. Have you heard of it?
No, what's that?
It's this dude. He does these like really grotesque parodies. He's got like 1 million views. That dude like shut up like real quick, and everyone just knows him as Meat Canyon. And then it's I mean, I can show you if you want.
Go ahead.
You gonna bring it up?
Yeah.
What do you want to do? You bring it up. I bring it up.
You bring it up.
Okay.
You bring it up, man.
Wait. Whoa. What's this?
You know what we're looking for.
Look. Oh man, there's some Gundam. Holy shit! Look at this Gundam shit. God damn. Sorry, I'm getting distracted.
Yes. Yes, you are.
Oh yeah, here it is. Oh my god! Fuck. Where is it? Oh yeah.
Kind of on topic. But did you get that like email from Team YouTube or whatever, Google, and they're like,
oh, the changing of the thing.
Yeah, we're gonna make it more clear, and like, there's no fucking way you guys are gonna like actually define what these rules mean. I'm like, okay, whatever. Just it's another. You're gonna add more bullshit reasons that people can get yanked.
Pretty much.
The channel, yeah.
Pretty much, yeah. Okay, here we go. All right.
Ooh.
So you know that Nico Avocado, what's his name? You know that guy?
No,
Nikado Avocado.
don't know, but I'm guessing he's a mukbang. I can't
Sort of.
stand this side of YouTube, dude. I can't. This is like part of the things that drive me
Well, I
nuts.
mean,
Like,
it's part of my thing. I gotta understand like what is happening in the world.
Mhm.
I gotta see what these trends are and how they interact.
Ooh, doesn't this look good? Oh, it got on my shirt. Ah! Oh my gosh, I'm out of food. And it's your fault. Ooh, look at this though. That's tasty. And I know all you trolls come to my channel and tell me to eat healthy food, but then if I eat healthy food, no one watches the video. So I'm just gonna do what I've always done, and I'm gonna eat these spicy tacos. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll be back tomorrow to eat more Taco Bell and Takis.
Anyway, it gets really weird. Whereas everything he touches turns into strange sludge.
Don't touch me! No, Arlen, no!
Yeah, it's pretty weird. What's his most famous one? Like, there's one that brought him on the map. You've probably seen it. It's not this one, but it's like this one. Oh my god. Oh, here's this one. That's really weird. It's like his
Chi-Chi, I'm home. Goku? What are you doing here? Bit of an odd question, isn't it? What? I said it's a bit of an odd question, isn't it? This is my home, so I should be allowed to shelter at my own convenience. I suppose I suppose, yes. I do suppose. Tell me, Chi-Chi, where's my boy? My little monkey man? I don't know. You really don't seem to know much, do you? He's out training with Piccolo or one of the others. Thought you didn't know where my son was at. It was just an educated guess. Oh, is that right? Where did you go to school? What? So educated you must have some master's or doctorate to be making such bold claims. Would you care for a sensu bean? Chi-Chi? No, thank you. Goku, you're scaring me. What's going on? You've never been grateful for the things I've given you. What?
It's just so fucking weird, dude.
Yeah, it's pretty fucked. Oh, but so anyway, yeah. I always look on that kind of stuff on YouTube, see what animators are out there. So what's happening? There's these other guys called Flash Kits. They do like much more funnier stuff. But anyway, that's probably what I'll be spending my Christmas doing.
Have fun with that, man.
Yeah. I'll be getting out the moisturizer. And... No, I won't. That's stupid.
Oh, yeah?
No, I won't. Moisturizing my face. There you go. Oh, yeah. Making sure those pores are nice and hydrated.
Okay. That... I wasn't expecting that to come up.
I don't know. I was trying to do a joke and it kind of fell flat, so whatever. I don't care. I'm not going to do it. Screw that.
Do you want to browse through these campaigns? You mentioned
Yeah.
some of the Indiegogo campaigns. Let's see here. It's been a while since I've scoped them out.
Yeah.
We have Sorted by Trending, so...
Well, there's Coming America. Kicking ass.
Volume 4 and Omnibus.
Nosfero. Yeah, click on that one. So Reagan Lodge had this guy on his... He's got a channel, and he had him on his channel. Interviewed him. It was pretty interesting.
You know... Oh.
Still loading, I guess.
Yeah, I know. It's so slow. I kind of dig the look of it. Like painted painted look of it all.
Looks good. Looks really
But
good.
it's one of those things where it's like, I'm gonna hate to see it lettered. Like,
Really?
it looks, it looks so good. Like all these like washes and stuff, like them getting covered up by like word balloons. I just, like it's delicate work that you just lose. And I know it's like always a trade off, but I'm not sure. Like I just like the way the composition is as a whole there. So having it filled in by those blocks, like it would kind of take away, in my opinion.
I mean, maybe not. Maybe he'll
what the
position
fuck do I know?
position them nicely.
I haven't seen it. What do I know?
Yeah, you don't know nothing about nobody.
What are we looking at here? Featured. Damn, that's.
Well, I mean, that's the thing, right?
High number feature there.
No, you can feature your own perks. You knew that, right?
Yeah, but the $325 one is. I probably would have gone with the $75, $75 one. But hey,
okay.
Hey,
if it works, it works.
If it works. Ascension. Burn your idols. Sarday. Man, I don't remember seeing any of these things.
Yeah, well, I mean, as I said, they just came out. So this Pirate Queen. Oh my god. Porno comic. Did we talk about that last time?
I don't remember us talking about it, but maybe.
Then there's Gold Arrow.
Gold Arrows.
What I remember. Gold Arrow comics.
Yeah, this is. I'm kind of wondering who a number of these people are.
There's fucking Gold Digger. Remember Gold Digger?
Fred Perry's Gold Digger?
Yeah.
Remastered? No, I don't remember this.
Yeah, like that's been around for ages. I remember when actually there used to be Gold Digger comics. They'd show up in the news agency in Australia when I was like really young. Like this thing's like old. This was like way before anime and manga was like huge. It was still very niche.
So have you backed this? Is that what you're...
No, I have no
hardcover edition?
But yeah, I mean, the art looks good.
Gold Digger. Let's go. Where were we on this? Oh yeah, we were right here.
Yeah.
City of Venus. That's City. Wags, Bric-a-Brac.
So Black and White Volume 2 is already out?
Well, it's been out for a while, I believe. Now it's in demand.
Now there's Wraith of God. Man, these guys are making big numbers.
Yeah.
I would love, dude, if I could make numbers like that. Fuck.
Right?
Blade Devil, that's old. That ended. It's been out for a while. Bullet Maker.
16,000. Not bad.
All right. Yeah. I just thought Bullet Maker sounded weird. All he does is make bullets.
Does he ever shoot them?
No, he just makes them. And then he just throws them at people.
Yeah. Let's see.
What's this one? Zod? What is that?
This one right here?
No, Zod. You go up. That one. In the middle. Zod. 1 and 2.
Oh.
Into the hellscape.
You want to see what that one is? All right, let's see.
Looks like porn. It is porn! Yay!
see. Hold on. So far, it's classy.
Just wait until the porn shows up. Look, see? Spoiler alert, that means it's porn.
I think it's gonna be one of those like Vampirella
Porn mags?
Like,
Softcore porn mags?
Yeah.
Go up to
PG-13.
go to the stretch goals so we can laugh. 40 backers. 2,000, 3,000, 4,000. These aren't stretch goals.
Well, they're locked. They're locked up.
Yeah, because he never reached them.
Stretch goals.
Right?
40
Okay.
backers. Where are we at? Let's see. 14 backers. It's 30 days left, though.
30 days left.
But yeah.
Will he make it with his porn?
Hey, it's not. We don't have confirmation on that. That's just your. That's your guess. Your hypothesis on that.
No, it's true. It's true.
I'm not gonna lie. I came into this with nothing, man. like I was just like, man, I don't know anything truly newsworthy. Like I don't know. It all
There's
seems
a
like
bunch of stuff. There's the Ghislaine Maxwell trial.
yeah. I just don't really get into that stuff. Like it's like such a joke. Like we're even having to go through this stuff. Like open, like basically open conspiracies. Like finally being exposed, and it's like no one could give a shit.
Well, I think that's kind of the point, isn't it? Right? Like you wear people down to the point where they're just like, yeah, we don't care anymore. Apathy sets in, and they're just like, oh, by the way, they ate a bunch of babies. Yeah, whatever.
Well, it's messed up. Like it's like
it is. It's totally messed up.
I'd agree. And then you just like everyone who is like an influencer or a major politician, like seems to be in on it, know something about it, or be involved with it. Like,
well, I mean, the dude was offering pussy on tap, right?
Yeah,
not any pussy, young pussy, the greatest pussy of all, the pussy that everyone wants, even the women. Because there's nothing. Yeah. There's nothing more valuable. Well, there's nothing more valuable than a young woman, right?
I guess so. I mean, if it's forbidden fruit, I'm sure it's all the more alluring to.
Yeah.
People can buy anything in life.
Yeah, they're like, well, we could buy anything except that, and then along comes this guy. Who goes, "Hello, sir. I have some wares." And they're like, "Oh, hot dang! I've been meaning to buy some underage pussy."
It was just like so obvious, though. Like that shit was going on. Like people were talking about it all the time. It's like no one ever bothered to investigate or prosecute over it. And then the moment like it's finally like maybe we'll get some justice, like wow, he mysteriously died when no one was around to see it happen. Yeah, he must have been expert suicide artist. Like that's amazing.
Well, I mean, I find that strange. I mean, because you don't really get to practice being a suicide artist. Well, you do, but only once.
Right. But he like, mastered it.
He mastered it right away. It's amazing. Who knew he had such skill?
Right? Even to like leave this air of mystery because no one was there to like witness it or record it. So it's like, did he? Like he left that question behind in our minds. Like that's the mark of an expert,
a true gentleman.
Yeah,
he left a good impression, I guess. But there's like photos of him and Ghislaine like on holiday that have come out recently as well. It's fucking weird because of her and Epstein like on vacation and they're like embracing and kissing each other. I'm just like, what kind of fucking relationship was this? You know, like what were the dynamics of this thing?
Something twisted, man. Something twisted that
Like
worked for
was
them.
he such an effectively manipulative narcissist? Like such a massive psychopath that
Well,
he
she
was
had to be too, because she like
But I mean,
facilitated it
like,
all.
but these are the questions that I think about. It's like, sure, she was, but she did it all. From what I'm reading from those transcripts that have come out from the trial in testimony, like she was setting up all those tricks for him to bang. I'm just like, but you guys were in love. You know what I mean? You get what I'm saying here?
She was cool with it. She was with it. She was down with it. She
It's
wanted
like,
it.
but that's not
I don't get it.
normal. You know what I mean? Like if
No,
you
it's messed
if
up.
you love someone, and I mean, maybe in some twisted way I do get it, because if you love someone and they say, "Look, I'm not happy banging you. I want to bang a young chick," and if they've got you wrapped around their little finger, then I mean, I guess I could sort of see it. It's like, oh well, I want him to be happy. You know what I mean? Like, because the whole thing about narcissists, that they one of the little mind tricks they pull is that like they do this whole thing of validation supply, where they'll like love bomb you and you'll feel really good about it, and then one day they'll like kind of withdraw. They'll pull the carrot of the stick up as you're trying to grab it, and you'd be like, oh well, you didn't do this one thing right, so I'm not going to give you all this adoration. And so then in a way it kind of like tricks the circuit in your brain where you want to like try to get that validation back. You know what I mean? You want to you want to work hard to get their approval again, so you could get that good feeling again. And I think maybe that's what was going on. But I think that's crazy that he was able to do it to that such effect, that she would be totally okay with getting these underage girls and having them dress up as schoolgirls and sending them up to where he was sitting.
That's like the messed up thing where it's like I don't think she's innocent in any fashion.
Well, yeah, but I mean, it's like I'm not saying she is innocent. I'm just saying it's like she was like, she worked in intelligence, dude. She wasn't like someone who was like, unless she was. Anyway, it's just it just boggles my mind. It really does.
It's fucked up.
Yeah.
It's fucked up. So yeah, there is that, but I don't know. I just like with the Rittenhouse, like that was like all over everything like at the time, but I was like, man, everyone's talking it to death and I'm not gonna have a better take than they will, so
yeah,
like I'll just leave that alone. Like, and I'm so much of the trial stuff, it's just like almost too hot to handle. I mean, I had some manual review on one of my old shows, like, so I'm like, oh, I can't believe like they would have the time to look through it.
Well, I mean, they probably didn't. The algorithm probably just picked up on a phrase somewhere.
Oh, it was when we were watching the Stephen Colbert vaccine dance thing.
God,
and the like he was in pain thing. Yeah.
He was in pain as he was doing it.
Like we were talking over it, as it was muted, but it was playing in the background on Twitter, and that was enough for them to.
Oh yeah, they do that to me. They've done that to me as well when I had I was doing that He-Man thing with Von Klaus.
Mm-hmm.
It got that video got claimed, and I put it into manual review, I think. Or
I didn't even do anything. They just said, yeah, we already had somebody review it, and in Japan it was like unavailable, I think. I'm just like, okay. I think I'll live without all my Japanese fans on one night show.
Because we all know that you're really popping off.
I'm big over there, man.
Yeah. Bigger than Animated, my man. That's a huge accomplishment.
Skulls are coming back.
Yeah.
Possession. Demons.
Godlike.
Enough of this MMORPG
bullshit.
Yeah, virtual reality stuff they're running with. We're
Did you hear
we're going
about
paranormal. What?
Did you hear about what Elon Musk said about being able to implant people with chips by next year?
Nah. What did he say?
He said that what I just said with Neuralink.
The entire human population could be chipped.
Well, not quite like that, but he said, they could start implanting paraplegic people and with neuron chips by next year, because obviously paraplegic people are people who can't walk,
Mm-hmm.
and so the idea is that you implant them with a chip somehow, and it enables them to walk again somehow by relaying messages through different pathways. Perhaps, I'm not sure. But,
somehow I think that's going to be too cost prohibitive. I don't know, like it's kind of like I remember like early 2000s they were talking about like cars that would have like zero emissions, like running on hydrogen, and they would only have water vapor as byproduct, like completely
well, they also said that
ecologically safe and shit. And it's like, look where we're at now.
They also said in 2000 that all of the east and west coasts of America would be underwater due to the ice caps melting. And look where we are now.
Exactly. It's just like there's always like some head of industry guy saying something like that. I'm like, yeah, bullshit. And if it does happen to be like, supposedly they think they've cured AIDS, like on one person or a handful of people, but we're talking about like a specific treatment plan, like hardcore over the course of years, and then really they're not even sure if they've eradicated it. They just can't test for it after X amount of time, and so they assume that it's gone. But it's like, yeah, we've cured AIDS, but it's like kind of, but how many people are going to be quote unquote cured from this? Like they always have these like clickbait, I guess you would say, clickbait kind of things, and it's like, yeah, I really fucking doubt that. Like I think we're kind of close to peak right now in terms of like technology, in my opinion.
I wish I could agree with you, but AI is right around that corner, my man.
Well, I guess it's like a more sinister or potentially more sinister application that's developing. But I mean, as far as technological progress goes, like what's going to be the next major invention that really shakes things like around completely?
AI.
Yeah, we'll see. We'll see.
AI. No, I mean AI is going to be more powerful than a nuclear bomb. It's going to be a massive game changer. Like general AI, like something that can compute faster than anything and do it intelligently, and like it's Terminator, man. It's Terminator. Yay. Maybe not quite like Terminator, but you get what I mean, right? It's like they'll just use it to fight wars and.
But I mean, everything you hear about where it's like this, yeah, we can make these super farms and shit, like stacking vertically on buildings and stuff. Like we can farm, like all this stuff. When people talk about, oh, you can fit the whole population of the world inside of Texas, and it would only take up this much space. It's like, yeah, but you know how much of Texas, like you can't even live on? Like, do you know like how much of the world you can't even live? I'm like, yeah. If everyone were standing shoulder to shoulder, but we don't live shoulder to shoulder, man. Like, people can barely live
in their world. We do.
Yeah. People can barely live like room separated, from each other. So
humans seem to have this kind of proximity problem. I guess because we are partly territorial.
Yeah, I think it totally countered it. Like I could not live in a city situation, dude. It'd drive me nuts.
Well, I've done it, and I can definitely attest that it does indeed drive you nuts. Yes.
Yeah, but I think I would lose it. Like I would be on the news someday.
Oh,
I would just hit
you would
the
literally for I guess thinning the herd reasons, so to say.
something, man. Like I don't know if people will die, but shit might get like smashed up, and it'll be like, that's it. He's lost it, you know.
It kind of reminds me of. I feel like there was a show at one point called Hobo with a Shotgun, or was it? It might have been a horror movie. I don't know, but I don't know. I feel you, man. I feel you.
Yeah. So I don't think people. I think people were evolved to be more like tribal.
Yeah.
Sort of thing. And everything beyond that is like way outside of our realm of dealing with things. Like we're not in a natural state anymore, and that's why people are like so fucked up, like you know, mentally or physically or whatever.
It's like because our brains have such limited bandwidth, and we're getting bombarded by information, so much information all the time that is stressing us out.
Well, it's just like there is something to like somebody getting their ass kicked, you know, like there is something to like being put in your place and like you know your role and shut your mouth, like kind of thing. Like right now there's like some people can get away with things with impunity, but it's like if essentially there wasn't a system of corruption and protection around these things, and you had to deal with like the consequences of like what some people are doing, like, and you have the community can react however they want to react, you might not see stuff happen so often, you know.
You're talking about deterrence.
Yes.
No, you're right. Bring back trial by combat. Bring back duels.
Yeah, it's something like that. I mean, that's more formalized. I feel like there's a natural order kind of thing to it, you know, like monkey troop sort of thing, where it's like
the monkey brain.
If you fuck it up, and I think humans are just bound to fuck it up because we're too intelligent to not try to fuck it up. Thinking we can do something better, or just knowing like the way power works and trying to game the system, you know, trying to Game of Thrones it.
Yeah.
Like play it up. But, you know, monkeys pretty much like live by dominance, like just physical dominance. And from there's also like, if they're like too brutal with the troop or whatever, sometimes the troop will turn on them and kill like the alpha male.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Yeah. Like if it's like just one that beats the shit out of all the other monkeys all the time, like past the point of just like I'm the head guy, like past that, like the other monkeys will like conspire to kill that monkey, so it'll be like 3-on-1, and it's like that there's no chance with those numbers of like winning with their strength and everything.
Yeah, because they are strong motherfuckers.
So I think it's kind of the same thing with human society. It's like having that balance.
Well, we do share a common ancestor, so.
But at this point in modern society, you can't really, like, you just get taken out way too easy. Like, drones, I think, are more scary than anything.
No, I agree. I think we should bring back, what would we call it? Boxing matches or?
Duels would be good. Yeah,
but the thing with duels is, like, we had that. That was the honor system, right? And then young people came along. So that's too brutal. It's too savage.
I don't know. It's like, couldn't you back out? Like, you just like considered a complete coward?
I guess so, but I think
maybe that was an option.
I think the compromise is that instead of having a fight to the death, you just have like a boxing match. Whoever gets the shit kicked out of them or beat out of them, I think that will put the psychopaths and sociopaths keep them in check and make them think twice before they start fucking with normal people.
I think you should have 2-tier. You should have duel set up, and then also like just like let's duke it out. So duel setup would be like kind of like felony, sort of thing, and then like
the thing is,
match would be like misdemeanor. Okay, you just need ass kicking.
Duels are so you don't even like duels are for duels typically were done when someone would talk ill of you, right? Like tarnish your reputation in some way, right? Like talk shit about you behind your back.
Mhm.
And so you'd be like, well, my honor has been tarnished. The only way we need to settle this is through, a duel, right?
Yeah.
Because people understood, like, if your reputation was like got messed with, that was potentially damaging for your livelihood, because then people wouldn't give you any work, and think resources were hard to get back then. And it's still kind of sort of the same today now, as we're seeing, but now it's like we don't have that deterrent there. It's like people are like, well, I can say whatever I want, make whatever accusations, and if people believe it, well, fuck it. They can go work at Starbucks or some shit, which is bullshit, right? Like, there's no recourse. The average person can't take the other average person to court because no one has the money anymore, because lawyers aren't regulated. They just charge you through the nose because they can, right? There's nothing to stop them. And I think, I think if you bring back some kind of official duel, like some kind of match or face-off subpoena, where you go to I don't know, say some kind of legal authority, be it a policeman or something, and say, this person has said these things about me and has made accusations, and I don't quite like that. I don't think it's true. And it's affected my livelihood and my relationships in some way. They'd be like, okay, well, we'll issue a subpoena, and then you bring evidence or whatever. They go, okay, well, we'll have to issue a subpoena to this person that they have to be at the mixed martial arts or boxing ring on this day at this time. That this can be settled, and whatever happens at whatever the outcome is, then the matter is settled, and that's how it is, because that's how men used to settle their differences back in the day. Like, like, we're built to sort of like fight each other, and women obviously don't understand that. But now today, women are like claim to be the equals of men, and I think if you were to bring that back, a lot of those women would be changing their tune real quick. No, we're not doing prison sodomy. Oh, Gaga, what the fuck? That's not good. There's no honor in that. Whereas if you face someone off in, like, say, a physical match of prowess, like be it through hand-to-hand combat or CDC, then I think there's some weight to that, because then all of a sudden it's very real what they've been doing. All of a sudden the repercussions are very visceral for them to deal with. And that's the end of my TED Talk. Thank you for coming. My TED Talk. What do you think, Lucius?
I like it. I didn't know that whole time. Like, I got incepted there. You were TED talking.
I don't know. I just kept talking. And then
No,
I
think
I gotta wrap this up somehow.
I think a good ass kicking can set some people straight.
Yes.
Like it can do some people a lot of good to know, like, at some point your luck's gonna run out, or you
at some
cross
point
the wrong
keep
person.
doing this, you're gonna fuck up.
And ass kicking is just like the right amount of adjustment some people just need.
Yeah. Because they're not gonna die, but they're gonna feel a lot of pain, and sometimes even the fear of being inflicted with pain is more effective than actually being inflicted with pain sometimes. In fact, a lot of times that is actually a major thing.
Well, I wonder how many people, most people won't bother, and I think that's what a number of people prey upon, is that most people don't want to be confrontational or get into a fight or face repercussions for a fight, so they'll just take a hit and walk away, and that just gives somebody like this belief that they're untouchable or whatever, until somebody turns around and hits them back. And that's like the old adage, it's like bullies aren't prepared for like somebody to push back against them. Now, that bully could still probably kick your ass, maybe, like size matters, and they might even be like a brawler, but eventually you cross the wrong person.
No, you're talking about
that.
the wrong kind of bully. I'm talking about the bullies who spread rumors and lies, toxic femininity. Where if they do something and you push back, then they take that, turn it around, twist it, and use it against you as well. And so by like the way I see it is like duels, or at least hand-to-hand combat, in some kind of face-off in a ring
definitely
with a referee. Like that is something, because narcissists and sociopaths like that, it generally tend to be like very beta male kind of people. Like they don't have a lot of physical prowess, or they're not tall, they don't have any kind of strength at all. You know what I mean? The ones I've met, at least, are like these little shits, right? These little manlets who you could definitely cross the street and beat the fuck out of them, no problem. And I'm not even that strong of a guy, right? But yeah, it's more of a deterrent for those kinds of people rather than, say, someone who's going around punching people. Because it's easy to deal with someone like that. You just call the cops and they show up and they fucking tase them and put them in cuffs. You know what I mean? But I'm talking about the fucking the soft violence, the soft power of social manipulation, and like mitigating that somehow. And that's the thing, is the only way you can really truly mitigate it is how I've just described it. Like violence is the ultimate authority, and it is from violence.
Violence is the answer.
Well, no, I mean, like, seriously though, violence is the ultimate authority, right? You would agree with that. And it is from violence that all other authorities come from, right?
Like, let's just say the outcome is heavily determined by the use of it most of the time. Yeah.
But other countries don't invade other countries because they know if they do, they're gonna get a smackdown, like a really big smackdown, right? Like because of violence. So there's those different memes of those two dogs on either side of a fence barking at each other, right? And then like the fence goes away and then they stop barking, and the fence goes back and they start barking again. It's because they don't want to fight, because they know it's hurtful for everyone. So anyway, no, we're not doing it.
It's hurtful for everyone, man. Prison salary. Yeah. Well, I think an ass kicking can set that shit straight too. Yeah. So if you have to run your mouth under the fear of getting your ass kicked, which is a very real thing, I think we would all acknowledge. Like, yeah, you would think twice if it meant you might get your ass kicked for saying that. You might.
Well, the other thing is
you're fucking with people's lives.
Yeah.
Fuck around and find out.
Fuck around and find out, absolutely. But the other thing is, like, the other counter argument I could think of is that people are like, well, then that would mean that there would be a fear of people, being critical and speaking out against someone, right? And I'm like, well, yes and no, because look, if you really believe something and you really stand by it, you will say it regardless, knowing what the consequences are if you believe wholeheartedly in it, right? Like if there's a corrupt politician, you say, look, that guy's corrupt, and he says, I don't think I quite like that, we're going to have a duel. I'm like, well, fine, we'll have the duel. I'm still going to keep saying it. You know what I mean? Like usually those people are the ones, there's this old saying of like, fate often favors those who pursue the path of justice. You know what I mean? And so, I feel like if your intentions are well aligned, even if you do be called out and brought into that kind of situation, and even if you do lose, you're not going to back down because what you're saying is right. So yeah, but we're not doing.
You have the strength of your conviction.
Straight, yeah, right. That's a more concise way of putting it.
Yeah.
All right. Clearly, you are done.
I think, yeah, I kind of came into it close to empty, on the tank.
Damn. So now you know how I feel. Now you know how I felt.
Well, I missed last week, and I felt like coming back in, but yeah, I didn't spend time today prepping. Like usually, I give myself a good hour or two kind of look through stuff, gather up a few things maybe to talk about, or things just fall into place naturally. Like it's just like, oh shit, 2 big things came down on a Wednesday. No one's even had a chance to talk about it. But that also usually means I'll have competition that night. Like
True.
Somebody else is going to broadcast over me. But that's happening anyways. So why should I care? Yeah.
Exactly.
I'll do me.
What happened to J Dollar?
He's either hit or miss. Like I think
guess
it's all
he
dependent on
never
his
missed, huh?
his he didn't miss with his ladies. His quote unquote ex-wife or whatever.
What?
Heather, the lady he lives with and
his
basically has a
ex-wife?
relationship with, but he's not married. And I was just like, I don't know. I talked about it with him on one of the shows when it was just me and him. But yeah, Heather, I guess like watching the kids, something like that. She has to be there, and her work schedule sometimes conflicts.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah.
That is true. Very true. But before we go, let's talk about me.
Sure.
So Lucius, I showed you a little piece of something ahead of time.
Mm-hmm.
What did you think of it?
How much do you want me to talk about?
I mean,
do you just want my thoughts on what it was, or
be vague as you can?
Okay. So it's a trailer that he's made, and I saw it storyboarded. Now I've seen it animated, mostly animated. But you just had like one rough spot. It looked like that you have to.
Well, there's 3, but
yeah. Okay. But yeah, it's moved along quite a bit since I last saw it, and I thought it looked baller then, like in that state, but now it looks even more awesome. Yeah, it's one of the better ones I've seen, and it almost like if I could have it animated, I'd want to animate it, even if it was just like very like I consider the likes of Samurai Jack and what was it, Primal, what is his name, Gennady
Tartakovsky.
Yeah, I kind of consider them sort of limited animation, but done in a very smart way. And that's kind of like when I'm looking at your stuff, like, because as an army of one on it, you don't have all the time in the world to do.
Yeah, you gotta be smarter. You gotta be smarter about it.
And
cut corners when you can.
Right, but still making it look interesting.
But I will say,
dynamic.
Thank you. I will say there was that one shot that you gave me feedback on, and I did it, and you were right, and it looks way better for it. Do you remember?
Yeah, you're welcome. Yeah, I would kind of want to see. I kind of want to see it again, because I
that
thought
shot
something, not necessarily that specific shot, but the whole thing. Because like I don't know how much time you have, and we don't have to do it on the show, but yeah, I wanted to look at it again, because I was like, oh damn, like
we'll end this now, and then I'll show it to you.
All right, cool. Well, that's the end of the show there, but yes, keep your eyes open. This man makes it almost impossible to be like. It annoys me sometimes when I'm like, I forget about your lockdown on your Twitter profile. And I try to just like retweet you, and it's like, you can't retweet this. I'm like, God damn it, that's a copy and paste. And
you take a screenshot and then you paste it up. If you really
but it doesn't have links. Like if I want to post links to,
well, I will say I am getting better. Look, my mental health has improved somewhat since I've put that thing in lockdown, just because.
Good, then.
There's way less input noise coming now, and it's great. I love it. And I'm going on Minds more now. I have a page on Minds, and I'm just posting art up there, and people really great up there. I really like it there. So I think the transition is happening very soon, or slowly. It's a glacial pace.
So it'll just keep creaking, and then all at once it'll just.
Well, I mean, Twitter's getting worse and worse as time progresses. As they keep implementing,
this new one. It's just like that kind of like kills the whole like reason for Twitter, like completely. So
I find it so strange that these big companies are now breaking the very product that made them successful in the first place. You know,
right. Well, that's just the awesome things that it leads to other ones taking over. Like you wonder how. Like I mean, there was like certain companies and everything that were so big, like they were the only thing there was, and it's hard to imagine what that would be. You know, it was like, what is it, the British Indian Company or something like that?
oh right, yeah.
Like the amount of like trade it just overtook, and you would think something like that, as big as it was, how could it ever disappear? Because it's like nowhere to be seen anymore, and that's like a huge collection antique item for people, is like having anything doing with the branding of this company. And like you're watching it happen. It's like the biggest collection of basically pulp heroes in Marvel and DC, and it's like, how could you screw that up? And it's like, well, watch them do it. Watch them do it, and watch them ruin it. Like I think they're doing it so bad, like especially with the whole retconning and stuff. Like this new Wonder Woman lesbian island.
I mean,
like,
I kind of get that
thing.
I
Well,
kinda get
I'm
that.
not against it, but they're pushing so hard, like on the elements of it. Like it's just like no one was asking for this.
It's like that meme, no one blank DC Wonder Woman was a lesbian island.
Yeah, it's just like who's looking for this, and they're making it like canon, and they're making it like, well, was anyone, I don't know, I wasn't like a closeted homosexual, so I don't know, like, was anyone
Are you sure?
really dying to have like a book about
Can you remember a time when you were closeted
no
homosexual at all?
No, not at all.
All right.
Not even in my dreams or nightmares.
Maybe you were and you just didn't realize it. Maybe that was.
But like, I had a friend that was gay, you know, from high school, and I didn't know until like years later he told me.
Oh.
And like I'm trying to imagine, was anybody waiting to have this comic book where like a superhero was gay? It was about them being gay.
No,
like
no one was waiting for that shit.
Yeah, even when I was like a kid reading comic books, really into them and shit, like I wasn't looking for relationship stuff at all. It's like, no, give me a good fucking like backstory and like some action and shit going down.
Cool shit.
And,
yeah.
That's what I was there for. Is like, yeah, not really like exploring my sexuality and feeling okay about, like, no, it's like
emotional validation and making sure that your fetishes are totally legit and not
it's just like the weirdest fucking
degenerate
thing.
Or like, you know, straying from God's path in any way.
And yeah, some of the text too, like I watch some of these. I don't watch them much anymore, but every now and then I like going back and looking at like some of these, like reviewing the Lady Thor comics, or
oh my god,
like I think Wonder Woman might have been another one. So, but somebody was just reading the word balloon dialogue. It's like congratulating other characters on their bravery of being a woman, or like just
oh my
the
god
shit. Like there's the like the epic one of like Lady Thor, and I think the name of the other girl was Titania.
Oh yeah.
And who's the Absorbing Man?
Oh yeah. I think I remember
that one.
Yeah.
And it's like so Titania, I think that's the name of the character, and Absorbing Man were this like criminal couple, and like she knocks him out because Lady Thor is a lady, and he said some shit that was disparaging about her being a chick. Like, you know, this is for you.
She profusely apologized.
Well, she knocks him out, apologizes, and turns herself in, and then Lady Thor knocks her out anyway. Dude, it was one of the most fucked up things. It's like, so she,
next thing you know, they're going to be writing stern letters.
she betrays her partner in crime, and I think they're actually like romantic couple too. Betrays him, and then turns herself in, because it's just a lady that they're fighting now.
Oh
and
my god.
then not only that, but the hero, upon like surrender, knocks them out anyways. I'm like, this is so. There's so many ways like they're just getting it wrong here, but those are like the egregious like pushes on it all, and they haven't slowed down. They keep going with it, and it's like it doesn't matter that they're not selling. It doesn't matter that like they're losing jobs and titles and everything. It's just like I think it's just right now they're trying to feed on a rotting corpse. You know, it's like the beached whale.
Well, the
and
thing
it's
is,
getting picked
like,
apart.
but that's
It's
the
down
thing.
to the
Like,
bone.
this problem is so easy to fix. The solution is so fucking easy. You just hire talented people, regardless of what their views and politics are. But none of these people have the fucking balls to do that. It's the most simplest fucking thing to do. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's so fucking basic.
It should be. Yeah.
It's like, it's so, I mean, it's like instant ramen. There's no way you can fuck that up. But they're doing it. You know what I mean? They're fucking up instant ramen, you know? It's so nuts. Like, nobody's stopping to think, wait, you know, we're having to cancel these things and they're not selling because of the way we're going. Shit. Maybe we should change course. No one's thinking this. No one. No one's got the balls.
That's kind of where like now it's the time, like, you know, do something like what you're doing. Do your own indie comic, your own indie project where you own it and you make.
Well, the thing is, like, yeah, you're right. But the thing is, I've got like a really cool Wonder Woman story that I've always wanted to do, which is like kind of like a retelling of a history. But feminists would hate it because it's around sort of like the men that she's met, because she's obviously a female demigod, right? And she's immortal and she doesn't age. But she meets these men, and it kind of like makes her rethink her stance on humanity and humans. And I kind of added an extra guy in there because we know Wonder Woman as Diana Prince, right? And I always wondered, like, where did she get the Prince last name from? And so I thought about it. I was like, what if she met like this really rich dude, like, because like her whole history is like, obviously she shows up in World War I, and then there's World War II, and then you know, after World War II, you know, because she's fought in all those wars, she meets this rich guy called, I think the name I came up from was Brian Prince, and he was like, you know, this really nice, super rich, very generous guy who like would, you know, donate his time and money and energy to helping, you know, sort of his community and stuff like that, and just doing all these wonderful things. He seems almost like, you know, this really just truly good-natured person, right? You know what I mean? And Diana just falls in love with him. Like, there's nothing sinister about this at all. There's no, you know, like, gotcha or like turn at the last minute. And she falls in love with him because he's so noble, you know what I mean? And he's like successful, you know, he's all these good qualities that she's been taught, you know, when she was on Themyscira about how, you know, men are evil and stuff like that. And yet he's the exact opposite of this. And this is after Steve Trevor's died, you know, obviously he's sacrificing himself. And so, you know, she's fought through all these wars and she's somewhat jaded. You know, she doesn't think she'll ever love again. And so, you know, Brian Prince shows up. She's like, whoa. And so she marries him and she lives with him, you know, and he grows old. And so she but she doesn't grow old at all. And so she witnesses this person that she loves just kind of like age and grow old and die before her. And so she takes on his last name. And am I boring you? Or are you sneezing?
Sneezing.
Okay. Sneeze away. And so because she was so I guess taken by this guy, and she sort of saw this because she'd seen death before, but she saw him die in such a way where he died happy, you know what I mean? Like, he was married to this wonderful, amazing woman, Diana, Wonder Woman, right? And, you know, he did all this great stuff. And so she takes on his last name, Prince, as sort of like I guess, sort of like her way of honoring him for sort of like making her remember what good there is in humanity, and sort of he gives her everything he owns in his will, and so she's got these resources now to sort of like do sort of good in the world as well, and so because she obviously reveals to him like who she is, right? And so his dying wish in his will is like, if you're going to live forever, you're going to need resources to continue to do the work that you're going to do, right? You can't just go around, with your sword, even though she still does end up doing that. You can't just go around, kicking ass whenever you can. Times change, and so now you're going to need other tools and other weapons in order to, I guess, continue your work. And so she does that, and then obviously later on she meets Bruce Wayne, who's kind of like Brian Prince, but like a darker version. You know what I mean? And so it's kind of like this whole this strange kind of story about an immortal who's kind of seeing, I guess it's seeing humanity from a immortal's point of view.
Yeah.
And that was my TED Talk. Thanks for coming.
Why don't you make that story wedge into your Forsaken Gods universe? That seems like
I feel like that would, I mean, maybe, but I feel like that would be, I probably would do that actually. But right now, the Forsaken Gods, the main story for Forsaken Gods with Skull Knight is kind of like my priority, and that's pretty big already. So.
Yeah, well, what I'm saying is what you're going to do is plant the seed for that story inside Forsaken Gods, like some secondary character from over here becomes that story for you to go
I wish
back
I
to
could,
later
but
on.
the way I don't know. It might be a spin-off side story. Who knows? I don't know. But I mean, I would like to see a Wonder Woman story, because obviously there's like a lot of DC lore. You know what I mean? Because like Steve Trevor, Brian Prince, and Bruce Wayne, they're all kind of like these similar kind of great men that Diana kind of like comes across once now and again. That, you know what I mean? Like they're mortal men, but they're kind of like the epitome of sort of like the human spirit kind of like surpassing its limits and sort of like achieving something greater. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Almost like being a god. You know what I mean? So yeah, I don't know.
Yeah. All right. Well, we were going to axe this thing, and then
we're gonna do this now.
Talked about all this
I kept going on rants. It's like you came in with like nothing, and I've come in like all the opposite. I'm like supercharged.
Yeah, that's what we needed. We needed it. All right. Well, I'll try to make sure we're back here next week too. Thanks for jumping
I'll
by.
probably skip that one.
And hit the like button and leave your comments down below and all that fun jazz. And maybe we'll get back to you next week.
Maybe.
But that's it for now. Take it easy.
Stay fresh.